it is possible to follow more plant-based vegetarian diet post-bariatric surgery and still reach all your goals and have a really great healthy life. And I say that because many people in the bariatric, I suppose, preparation for bariatric surgery and also post-surgery, many people can put people off being vegetarian.
Welcome to the Bariatric Nutrition Coach podcast, where we empower you with weight loss surgery, nutrition knowledge, mindset advice, and inspiration so you succeed in your weight and health journey. I'm your host, Jane Stoltz, and I am a bariatric dietitian who has helped over 1,300 people on their weight loss surgery journeys. I'm also a solo mum, lover of long walks while listening to podcasts, partial to a glass of wine, and the ocean is my happy place. Join me as I dive deep into bariatric nutrition and lifestyle topics and deliver them to you in bite-sized, palatable episodes every Monday. Now let's go.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Bariatric Nutrition Coach podcast. And the topic today has been suggested by a listener. So thank you so much, Kim. Kim suggested this topic question in, and she submitted this question or topic using the Ask Jane link. So if you go into the show notes in any of the podcasts, you will see Ask Jane link down the bottom. And it's a very simple to use link where you click on the link, you put your first name in and the topic or question, and then I will do a podcast episode on that topic or that question, if it is bariatric nutrition related, of course. So thank you so much, Kim. Kim put the topic of post-bariatric surgery life as a vegetarian, how to achieve the right macros, enough protein, etc. I have had many people over the years enter their bariatric surgery already vegetarian, or they enter their bariatric surgery journey and they decide that they want to follow more of a vegetarian plant-based diet. And what I want to start by saying that it is possible. It is possible to follow more plant-based vegetarian diet post-bariatric surgery and still reach all your goals and have a really great healthy life. And I say that because many people in the bariatric, I suppose, preparation for bariatric surgery and also post-surgery, many people in kind of the area of bariatric surgery can put people off being vegetarian. And I want to talk about today that it is possible, and I'm going to talk about some challenges for people that are vegetarian and also some strategies to help you improve your diet and help you reach your bariatric journey goals. I'm not going to go into the really kind of nitty-gritty, full-on into macros and protein, because really when it comes to reaching the right macros and also protein amount, that's a very personal one-on-one work that needs to be done with somebody that is following a vegetarian or plant-based diet. And I also want to leave that if you're not familiar a lot with vegetarianism, there are different types. So some people can be lacto-ovo, so it's only milk and eggs that are animal sources. Pescatarians, vegans, there's all these different diets, and the main thing is that you follow a diet that you want to, but we also want to make sure that you're getting the essential nutrients and you're really getting that knowledge and education on how to balance your diet out. And also, yes, reach your protein goals. So let me talk to you now about 3 challenges that as a person, if you're in your bariatric journey or if you're thinking about it, you need to overcome. So these 3 challenges I'm going to go through one at a time. And the first challenge is to reach your protein goals. Are there wonderful higher protein plant-based foods? Yes, there are. and they are wonderful and healthy, and we get great fibre with them, and that's fantastic. But it can be a bit more challenging following a vegetarian diet to reach your protein goals. So that's really challenge number one. Challenge number two is to overcome or to not go down the path of having a higher or high carb intake, higher carbohydrate intake, because plant-based foods, not only do we get some great protein, but we also get people the carbohydrates in those foods, whereas the animal-based foods are lower or very low or have virtually no carbohydrate in them. So it is something that is very common following a vegetarian diet to, be working to get your protein goals, but along with your protein goes the carbohydrate intake, and that increases. And so totally understand, Kim, why that's included in your question of how to achieve the right macros. So that's one of the challenges. And the third challenge is it can be harder to get satiety. So animal-based foods, chicken, fish, lamb, beef, animal-based foods are denser in protein. You eat smaller amounts, they can be a high satiety. So a smaller amount of energy can keep you satisfied for longer. So that is the third one that I've listed. So I'll just recap those before I move into the strategies that I want to list and want to share. So the three challenges are: one, reaching your protein goals. Challenge two is not letting your carbohydrate intake get too high, because if you're going for your protein goals and your carbohydrate intake goes high as well, your energy intake is going to be high. And the challenge number three is it's harder to get adequate satiety. It can be challenging in the early days to get adequate protein because your volume you can take in is so small. But in the long run, when you need more satiety, when you can eat more, it can be challenging to get that satiety at that point. I just want to make a quick note here for anyone that's listening and thinking, Jane's not talking about things like vitamin B12 and iron and those nutrients. And if you don't have dairy foods, calcium and a range of nutrients that we need to watch extra closely if you are a vegetarian. Not only intake, but your levels in your pathology, and top you up with supplementation if needed. So that is another area that is really important as a person that if you're following more of a plant-based diet and you're going that vegetarian pathway, we need to be aware of and monitor and top up if needed. I'm not talking about that today. I didn't want to include that in here because it's very much of a personal one-on-one when I'm consulting and when I'm working with clients. I wanted to talk more about the big picture of macros and protein, which is really what Kim asked about. So now I'd like to share 3 strategies. If you are a person that's following a vegetarian diet post-bariatric surgery, that you can incorporate into your journey that can help you overcome the challenges that I just talked about. So these are 3 general strategies, and I'm going to go through them one at a time. And number 1 is to have a good protein powder. Now, this could be said for everyone in their bariatric journey in their kind of early to medium days. For people following a vegetarian diet, and more so if people are more on the vegan kind of go to vegan, a good protein powder is going to be a fairly good staple for you to have in your diet. So you may not have a whey protein isolate powder, you may have a pea protein or a soy. There are some really good plant-based protein powders, and they're good because we're getting great protein and we're getting low carbs, and they can be really wonderful for incorporating some more protein into your day, into your meals, to help you reach your protein goals and keep your carbohydrate intake in check, to keep it in that kind of more moderate zone, okay? So I do find the more plant-based your diet is, the less animal-based foods you have in your diet, the more likely or the longer you're going to need to use a protein powder. So that's really important. I just find them very, very helpful. And strategy number 2, so that was strategy number 1, a good protein powder. And a bariatric dietitian like myself can help you choose a good powder. It's just not any protein powder. We want to make sure the source of protein is good, as well as the amount of protein and its high carbohydrate amount in that protein powder is low. So strategy number 2 is about exploring all of the higher protein foods that you like and are happy to eat. So sometimes when people go more vegetarian and they don't know quite how to get that balance right of getting variety in their diet, getting a range of different amino acids from their different plant-based foods, a really important step is really exploring and ensuring there's great variety and really being aware of all the higher plant-based protein foods that you enjoy. And yes, you may be lacto-ovo, so great, we've got dairy and we've got eggs. So we really want to be aware of all the high protein foods that you can have and that you want to have, that you enjoy, and we want to leverage and maximize the variety we have there. Because a varied diet is an enjoyable diet, but it's also a healthy diet. So sometimes people do launch into being vegetarian by just taking out the animal-based foods or taking out the foods that they don't want to be eating. We need to put other ones in. We need to be a bit more open and explore different sources of protein and really get that variety. So that is strategy number 2.
Now tell me, is this you? You have had your bariatric surgery and you're feeling lost, you're lacking support and you don't know what to eat and when. Or you may have noticed after your surgery, your hunger and cravings have started to return and you are scared you won't reach your goals. You may have had some weight regain and you want to stop the weight regain and lose some more weight. You may be pre-surgery and you want support to be fully prepared for your weight loss surgery journey. If any of these sound like you, then listen up. I have developed my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp just for you. My coaching program provides education, coaching and community for people getting ready for their weight loss surgery and at every stage after their surgery.
You were so fantastic. You didn't just go, here you go, off you go. You were like, right, here you go. Let's do it step by step. And it's that step by step. If somebody's prepared to help you like that, it's immeasurable. It's priceless.
Your help just changed the game for me, right? It just changed the trajectory of my ability to understand what my body's telling me and trusting it. That was a hard one, right? Because my body, I can override it in a lot of ways in the past.
I think that hiring Jane has actually been the best thing that I've done. I was lost. I had no idea what to expect. I've never done bariatric surgery before. I've never had it done before. So yes, you have all the information from your surgeon and from their nutritionist and all that sort of stuff. If you have lifetime support, that's great. But a lot of times you don't. So you need to take that next step and invest in yourself because that's what it is. It's the most amazing investment that I've made.
There are 4 key areas that I focus on with my clients in my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp. One is the Bariatric Nutrition Basics. You will learn what and how to eat so you feel satisfied, reach your protein and fluid goals, and have less cravings, and know how to manage your hunger in the future. Meal ideas and meal planning. You'll learn to plan meals and snacks that you like, so you have great options on hand when it comes time to eat. Also, we focus on mastering weight regain habits, identifying any habits that are stopping you from reaching your goals, and create manageable strategies to get back on the straight and narrow so you can manage your weight for the rest of your life. And also, I focus with my clients in my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp on learning to trust your body and food. Start to enjoy your food again by relearning to listen to your body cues so you have less guilt and improve your relationship with food and your body. If you are ready to maximize your weight loss surgery results, feel confident in your journey, and be led with support and expert guidance, then the Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp is for you. If you would like to know more about my coaching program, check out the link in the show notes.
And strategy number 3 is really working to maximize satiety. And so, yes, not so much in the early days, but definitely in the longer journey as a person that's following a vegetarian diet, we want to maximize satiety by using protein in our foods. Yes, working out which of our higher protein foods keeps us satisfied for longer, what meals are really kind of circling your weight. No, I think I've mixed up my pulling their weight. Which meals are pulling their weight. And what I mean by that is you may have 2 meals that have roughly the same amount of protein, but one is just a bit more satisfying. It keeps you satisfied for longer. Being aware of that, those intricacies can be really beneficial. Might be a bit more fiber in that food. If I can add a bit more protein powder to that food, that meal, I know I get longer out of it. It just satisfies me for longer. So we really want to work on that, maximizing that satiety. So these 3 strategies help manage and combat the 3 challenges I talked about, okay? And I'm just going to recap the strategies. 1 is using a good protein powder for longer, as long as you need, and sometimes indefinitely. Number 2 is exploring all the high protein foods that are plant-based, or even if you are lacto-ovo or pescatarian, or any other animal foods that you're happy to have, just getting that real variety, being across the board aware of the higher protein foods that you are happy to eat and you enjoy. And also number 3 is to work to maximize satiety, really being aware of that, because we don't want to go down the pathway, and it's very common to go more of those snack foods as a vegetarian that, more slider food, easier to get more energy in, and then it leads to weight regain, okay? The eye on protein becomes even more important in a way because it's a lot easier as a vegetarian diet to go down that kind of snack and that slider food journey or pathway. And there's a lot of foods that are marketed as vegetarian, and I'm using air quotes, and all of these things, and they say all these things on them, but essentially they are not going to support you as well as other higher protein options in your bariatric journey. So that's some of my thoughts, Kim, on your question. When it comes to really being confident in your journey as a person that's vegetarian, and really ensuring your supplementation's on point, getting great monitoring, and making sure that you're really confident on how to keep your macros in the right place, that's where one-on-one support can be really helpful, because it can come down to very personalised strategies that work for you with your stage of your bariatric journey, with your food choices, your tastes, and your life, okay? So I hope you found this of value, Kim, and anyone else here that is listening that is a vegetarian of any degree, so to speak, or just following more of a plant-based diet. I hope you found this of value. And thank you so much for getting to this point in my podcast. It means you've listened to the end. So today was a bit shorter and sweeter, but thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you have a question like Kim, please pop in to the Ask Jane form, and you go down to the show notes. There'll be an Ask Jane, click on the link, and it's a simple choose form. You just put your first name, don't need your surname, any question or topic that you would like me to talk about, okay? Very happy and really would love to get that input from my listeners, because you have great questions. And I talk a lot about things that I think are really important, and I know they resonate with a lot of you, but there are other things that I may be missing. So I would love your insight. I'd love your input. And thank you so much for your support. listening to my podcast, and I look forward to being back in your ears next week. Bye for now.